Hi, welcome to class. We're the only two right now, but the other ones will show up eventually, right? I hate my life. I hate my life. And Professor Sunreis Productions! Hello class, Professor Sunreis here. Do you guys remember like roughly 2 months ago before the adventure stuff was released in the TCG and everyone and their mother thought that Brave PK is going to become broken and it's going to be a tier 0 format? The format is kind of bad right now, but it's not because of Brave PK. But what happened to that deck? Let's find that out in this video. So, what made people think that Brave PK is going to become broken? Well, people always envision it being played with Enforcer and Cypherlock together. And as you can see, we got that deck idea in form of base deck and all the other piled decks right now. But why doesn't the success of those decks translate to PK exactly? Well, extra deck locking decks like we have them right now will always get answered by decks which don't care about the extra deck too much. In this case, we are talking about Flunder and Eldritch. The reason that decks like base do better than Brave PK right now is that base endboard actually does something against both combo with the Cypherlock and control with Omni Negates in form of Baroness. Or take a look at Brave Virtual World, with access to Chuche against control and all the other Omni Negates and Disruption against both combo and control. They just play way better into all the decks right now. Or take a look at Eldritch Pile. It does Scythe combo against all the combo decks and plays Eldritch control against everything else. Add to that the consistency issues of DPE engine and it's not looking too good for the deck. My answer to said problems was to cut all the bullcrap and play without Enforcer and Scythe, and I had a lot of success with it. You see, PK's endboard is actually really good against combo already, with 2 Fog Blades, 2 Book of Moons with the Evil Swarm Nightmare, and 1 Pop Engrave with the Break Sword summoning into a Rusty Zone. Using resources to end on something good against combo feels really suboptimal to me. Add to that 1 Omni Negate with the Brave engine, and you have a golden deck with like 10 to 11 slots for defensive cards for going second, and an amazing grind game thanks to the PK engine. Cutting the Enforcer and Doctor out of the extra deck also gives us some space in the extra deck, so we can fit the F-Zero line, which gives us back a lot of resources, thanks to the Livia the Sea Dragon, and F-Zero plays very well into the meta, solves the problem of having nothing to end on post turn 1, and is just overall really strong if you think about it. It just completely hard counters Enforcer, which is in basically every deck, and in the grind game, without the defensive cards available to you, because you use them to crack the board, F-Zero becomes very hard to out. There's basically only a Unicorn in the extra deck, which does something against that, so it just plays really well into the meta. This version is also a very good answer to the anti-meta deck of the format, being Flunder, as Fogblades are really strong against them, and F-Zero is also really hard for them to out, and basically impossible for them to out. If you think about it, there's basically only the Riser line, I think, which can out it, or if you can book it with the trap, but then you just still need to get over it. So it's really hard for them to actually out the card, and to me, I was very proud of the deck I found. A combo deck with 40 cards, 10 defensive cards available to it, only 1 Real Brick in Draco back, and 2 to 4 suboptimal extenders in the form of the 1 Wing, the Griffin Rider, and the Fateful Adventure, which do have their value in the hand, especially the Griffin Rider and the Wing. They can just be extenders if drawn with starters. But overall, I was very happy with the deck. It was super consistent. It played into the meta immensely good. It was just very good, and I was at the peak of the format. But then the meta was evolving, and I'm going to adapt with it by switching from Brave PK to Brave Virtual World, and here's why. Brave Engine does our board nasty, very nasty. It basically outs the board on its own. Token can kill Nightmare, Draco back and Griffin Force, the 2 Fog Blades we have, and no way of really interacting with it because it's very hard to get the pop in the grave alive. Because the Brave combo line require you to use the 1 trap which you can get sent into the grave for free over the Ragged Gloves to actually use it to end your combo because you're lacking 1 level 3 monster. So it's not super likely to have a pop available to us at the start of the opponent's turn, but the most difficult change is to adapt to that people are switching their defensive cards. The lineup they used before was a lot of board breakers like droplets to counter cards like Scythe. But they switched that to hand trap spam to get 2 hand traps into their hand consistently because of Herald. Scythe is still a problem, but it usually cannot play through 2 hand traps and actually end on too many disruptions, and Herald counters the droplet, which countered the Scythe. So we're in this very weird scenario where people are like, okay, I'm just going to play hand traps because it does good against everything because I'm playing so many, I'm drawing 2. Brave PK could very easily play through 1 hand trap and end on disruption in hand, back row, and graveyard, and have follow-up to answer everything thrown at us like droplets, Dark Ruler. But with 2 hand traps, it becomes very hard, especially with card like Lancia in every side on main deck, and us not playing the Enforcer actually not having something to reliably end on under Lancia makes it very hard for us to combo through. And even if we combo resolves, the Brave cards ate one hand trap for sure because people are playing so many, so we don't end on Griffin, and then the opponent's own Brave engine completely seals the deal and annihilates our board. So you guys, I hope you liked my TED Talk on the topic of Brave PK. I'm very passionate about it. It's my favorite deck right now. My opinion is just not playable right now. You could still play the Cyflock, of course, but then you're just playing a worse version of the deck which you could play. You can play any other deck in Cyflock and just do better at it. The real benefits PK has are just very minimal right now. Like the good grind game is not really there because the meta is super fast right now. So my opinion, PK just doesn't feel good enough anymore. If the meta switches again and people are opting out of hand traps and play different stuff, I'm definitely going back to it, but right now I'm on the Brave Virtual World train. It's just really strong. You should definitely check it out. I'm gonna do a profile on that really quick once I finish up the testing. I got my list rolling, but it just plays through hand traps so well thanks to like cards like the Hulk Auroradon combo, talents, all this good stuff. It's really strong. I really encourage you guys to test it out. But yeah, that's been it for the video. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and leave feedback down in the comments below. I'm really enjoying doing this YouTube shizzle right now, so yeah, I appreciate it if you guys appreciate it. Class is dismissed. You guys are free to leave. Professor Sunreis out. Peace.